Good Monday morning. Glad to be with you, talking to you about you and your business. Got a lot to talk about on today's program. Really kind of a diverse programming with a lot of different subjects that we're going to be focusing on, with a big emphasis on business. Sometimes I take the liberty to talk about politics, but I often have shows that are devoted entirely to business, and that really seems to be the case today. A company I came across called ShiftNote. That's shiftnote.com. I'm going to spend some time talking with the CEO of that company, Matt Thompson, and welcome to the program. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Kevin.
Yeah, and I know exactly what we got you on. We're doing stories on what the state of the restaurant industry, and you're actually working a lot with restaurants and helping restaurants on several levels, particularly in the communication and the logistics and calendar scheduling type level. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely right on.
Yeah, and so that's, I knew we were trying to figure out why the heck we had you on. That's why we have you on. So, kind of give us the elevator speech for ShiftNote.
Well, the restaurant industry as a whole is kind of waking up to technology. So what we do is we offer a systematic approach. We give them a web-based tool so that they can communicate more effectively. As you know, in the restaurant industry, it's a kind of a organized chaos. So we try to organize it even more effectively and put it on the web. And then we schedule employees. So we make it easy to communicate to employees and make sure you have the right person at the right time so you can capture all those sales.
So what percentage of your business is restaurants?
90%.
90? Wow.
Over 90%. Yeah, we're heavy in the restaurant business. We all came from the restaurant business. We saw this as an opportunity to help ease some of the pain that the restaurant operators were facing, and that's kind of our bread and butter.
Okay. Why the name ShiftNote?
Well, ShiftNote is a kind of an industry term. You know, like, hey, when you say, hey, give me a Kleenex, when you really just mean a tissue. ShiftNote is a kind of a specific to the restaurant industry of, hey, make sure you write down your shift notes. It's just a common term. So if you have multiple shifts, an opening manager and a closing manager, the only way that they can really make sure that one person is synergizing and helping the other person out is to write shift note. And so we kind of we branded ourselves with that industry term, and it's helped us a lot because people understand what it means right away.
Yeah, and I imagine it kind of resonates with the restaurant business, saying that you guys know what you're talking about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're in the trenches with them, or we came from the trenches, and I think they understand that.
Yeah, and by the way, when I ask for a Kleenex, I am always asking just for a Kleenex, because this segment was brought to you in part by Kleenex. Anyway, so tell me about how old is the company?
We're 6 years old.
6 years old. How many restaurants do you work with?
We currently have about 2,800 restaurants that we currently do business with.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Kind of give us a full range of the services that you do for them.
Well, our primary focus is the shift-to-shift communication, so that's ShiftNote Basic, and then we also have a scheduling tool, which primarily is for their employees and other resources. So that's it. It's a pretty simple, straightforward system. We have a simple approach, and it seems to work for us. Okay.
So tell me a little bit about the size of the typical restaurants you work with. Are they all over the map?
Well, kind of our sweet spot is these emerging chains, somewhere between 5 and 18 units, seem to really gravitate to us more. But we have everything from a mom and pop, donut shop, all the way up to some of the largest national chains in the United States.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting. So you try to create some more order. I got to tell you, I know a lot of these restaurants often seem like they're limping along because they didn't quite get their shifts right. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
So it seems like it's a pretty pervasive problem?
It is. Well, I mean, to have a perfect shift, it takes a lot of effort from a management team and then the employees, obviously. I always say, there is no such thing as a perfect shift, but we hope that our product helps bring, the customer closer to the manager. I think a lot of times we forget that, that our P&L really is made or broken at the customer level, and that we just need to have the perfect shift, one shift after another. And if we focus on the shift, usually a lot of other things kind of fix themselves.
Yep. Absolutely. Talking about, again, the restaurant industry in general. Kind of give us an overview, Matt. What do you see as the state of the restaurant?
Well, I think it's an exciting time in the restaurant industry. We've got so much going on. I mean, there's a lot of consolidation, with kind of food cost rising. We see a lot of consolidation. But what makes it such an exciting time for us specifically is it's kind of a sleepy industry that, as far as technology goes, that is starting to wake up. A lot of restaurants out there, are still working on some old Windows 95 and just some old Internet Explorers that are now starting to invest in technology because they know this new generation of restaurant managers, they need communication faster. They expect more out of their technology. And plus, technology is going to now support their business efforts and growing. So it's just an amazing time as a whole because the industry is also saying we need more technology. It's not just a human people business, but we need technology to make us more successful and more profitable.
Mm-hmm. And so I imagine that, especially with the demand when it comes to price of food and that type of thing, people say inflation hasn't gone up much. I tell you what, on basic items, it's gone up incredibly, probably upwards of 20 to 25% for food items where they didn't have huge profit margins before. Where people have talked about relatively low inflation is because businesses have been forced to cut prices where they had larger profits before 2008 just in order to stay in business. And so that's offsetted the real inflation I think businesses have faced. And so technology becomes very important in terms of to try to, I guess you could say, wean off the cost of labor. True?
Without a doubt. I think, making decisions faster, the right decision faster, is more important than it ever has been. And we have to speed up that whole sales cycle. And in the restaurant industry as a whole, it's really come down to kind of the old school pen and paper and, and Excel spreadsheets. And as a whole, they know that they need to start saving more money, so they have to focus on labor dollar. Every penny counts, making sure that they have the best possible people in the right position at the right time is not as easy as it used to be. So you nailed it right on the head. Labor dollars as a whole, could be anywhere between 25 and 33% of the total operator's cost. So they need to control that better because they can't control their prices. Right now, they're kind of, they're hitting that line in the sand. I can't charge more than $9.50 for my burger. I mean, there's a certain area that, people stop coming to the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So where are they going to make up those profits just to survive? So labor dollars seem to be the first place they go.
Yeah, well, labor versus technology. Technology is always better. I hate to say it, and that's kind of a tension out there, but it's always better. Matt Thompson, he's CEO of ShiftNote.com. That's SHIFT Note.com. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it so much.
You bet. When we come back, more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at USDailyReview.com. You're listening to The Price of Business.